Is a real hot rod. As a matter of fact, it was painted by one of the most flamboyant customizers of our era, George Barris. It has 500 horsepower and was strong enough to make the cover of Hot Rod magazine. Hi everybody, I'm Dallas Raines, and welcome to the exciting world of speed and beauty.
On today's show, we'll have a special tribute to the extraordinary life that was Bob Nordskog, a self-made millionaire and record-setting powerboat competitor. Plus, living life at the limit with drag racer Eddie Hill. Then we'll grab some fast, I mean really fast food at the Race Rock Motor City Diner.
Bob Nordskog was a man who lived a high-performance life. Though his name was well known in the powerboat circles, Bob really loved anything that would go fast. This is his 1963 Corvette Stingray, and it is definitely fast. 500 horsepower fast, but that's what it took to keep Bob happy.
He said the only way to beat Father Time was to ignore him. Bob Nordskog ignored Father Time for 79 years, and those who knew Bob assumed he would win the duel. This was Bob Nordskog, after all, winningest offshore racer in powerboat history, the most honored driver in the sport. A one-time drag racer, dirt track driver, and holder of the speed record for a Model T, he first jumped off the track and into the water in 1949.
I decided I'd get myself a boat, and the first thing I did was make a hot rod out of it, and then from there I kept getting faster and faster, and I entered my first race, and I did very well.
Bob Nordskog would take more than 160 checkered flags on the water. No one ever competed so consistently for so long. No one ever raced in more divisions. But he was more than a winner. He was a legend. Legends, though, are mortal. But Bob put up one good fight.
I know that good Lord's going to tell me that I have to someday, but until that comes, I won't give up.
Bob won his last race just 3 weeks before his fatal stroke. Running with him to the very end, and for more than 20 years, was mechanic and crew chief Norm Teague. Norm and his brother helped Bob average 93 miles an hour in that final run.
You know, he'd start to fall, we'd grab him and pick him up, or, you know, his seeing was getting bad in the boat, and we would, as much as we could, help him, you know, because we knew he loved the sport of offshore, and that's the only thing he really liked doing.
His first way of going would have been to go in the boat, actually.
Eric Nordskog knew his grandfather had to race to the very end. If he had to face death, it would be on his terms.
And he told me a couple times that if he was feeling that he was ready to go, that he would get in his boat and run as hard as he could. I ran 2 seasons with him in one of his other boats as his navigator. And it was the most incredible experiences of my life, running with him in the boats. We always went fast, very fast. It was a lot of punishment. We took a lot of punishment in the races.
Broken ankle, broken hip, broken ribs, broken arm, broken collarbones, ruptured kidney, ruptured spleen, punctured lungs, and a couple brain concussions. And if you worry about the hazards, then you shouldn't be out there at all.
I just couldn't believe the stamina of this man.
Bob described offshore racing as the rich man's way of throwing away a fortune while trying to kill himself. The fortune he was throwing away came from his business, the largest manufacturer of ready-made galley kitchens for the airlines. And while aiming at the sky, he used the ocean to test his product's durability.
So he had a galley built, slapped an outboard engine on the back of the galley, and went from Long Beach to Catalina in a galley. He would come up with a lot of just crazy ideas.
Some of those crazy ideas helped charity. Bob created this race, the Golden Gate to the Spruce Goose, to raise money for the Olympic Committee. Other races have brought millions to his favorite charity, Guide Dogs for the Blind. Those were the only times money figured into a Bob Nordskog race.
We never ran for prize money. My grandfather was always against running for money. Running for money meant running for blood. And people would go out there and just go drive over their heads just for that extra 1,000 or 2,000, whatever, the money. He was warm, very caring. Anytime I ever needed him for anything, he was always there for me. But if I ever did anything wrong with business or in a boat or anything, he would kick me in the butt.
When the end came, Bob's family knew there was only one appropriate resting place. So they scattered his ashes in the ocean that was his life.
One day, the whole family went out. We all said a little prayer and talked to him and said that this is where you would want to be. This would be your final resting place. And we know that that's where he would want to be.
Bob Nordskog's passing was a great loss to his family and a great loss to the family of boating. In life, he was a winner. Now he is a true legend, and true legends never die.
He was just the #1 powerboat racer ever since the beginning. He was the man to beat.
Up next, the many lives of drag racer Eddie Hill. His records in drag boat racing still stand, but his first love is racing his top fueler. And where else but at the Motor City's Race Rock Diner could you get a Hemi burger with Woodward Avenue fries?